Feel the magic. Hear the. Oh dear. What have you done? What have you done?
Real horror, absurdity, alienation, futility, horror. 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 Real horror, absurdity.
Of
Hi everybody and welcome to today's VNA Instance. Virtually not alone because I couldn't. You gotta you set up the thing and you name it, and then you set up this thing, and then take a screenshot, and then save that as a JPEG, and then I didn't do all of that. So it's just a VNA Instance stream today, but it's a big one. Nice. It's at Tense Ion, corner shorts beholder, and a circumcised selfhood. Remember, lobstamonkee goose. Remember, Embody, we want what's best for you. There is no agency. I am your host, Griswold Gaius Grimm of the First LARP Ingression Protocol, and these, my friends, are the Hive Mind chat, which I'm going to set up while you watch this part here that I wanted to bring up because for it's just the amount of time Paul Vander Clay leaves this poor man on the screen. Like, what is this symbol? Is this some code symbol, Paul, that he's sending to people who are reporting on? You wanted to make sure that everybody who knows what this means identifies him as a guy who knows. Anyway, here, watch this for a second, folks. Oh, wait a minute. Son of a... Lobster, monkey, goose. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful morning, afternoon, daytime. It's Happy Friday. I'm going to try a Monster Party at some point. But there's a... You see, the thing is, when the corner's going to corner, and the corner needs to corner today because I got a shout out in homeroom. And we'll see if we can find it once I quit playing around with how this is going to... Remember, Embody, we want what's best for you. This is the Grim Grizz. Guys, what have you done to me? Attention, corner shorts, beholder, circumcised selfhood, VNA Instance, stream...
88, I think, maybe. So 88 kids that about 100 kids that I went through K through 12 with in our Christian school. You know, now, decades later, one, maybe two of them eventually came out as gay. No cases of transgenderism. Now suddenly we have just many people who are wrestling with this and finding this, and so there's very much a contagion aspect to it. Is it, some people have offered questions of chemical pollution, or all sorts of things. There used to be even in this little church, there used to be an environmental engineer who would keep specimens of small clams in plastic water bottles and
specimens. Oh, Sorry, I can't help myself sometimes. Hello to the Hive Mind chat. Hey everybody, the Friday Morning Lameness. That's the channel. Josh Garrison, Saudi, and Lynn Lavoie. Ahoy! I'm on minute 8 mark. Did I go? I'm too far. Then I missed. I'm past my shout out. Thanks for the.
Tell me.
Thanks for the thing there, Lynn.
Application, I think, is something that we really have to contend with. And what is it exactly is compelling about the lie that you can believe you are born in the wrong body? You know, what exactly does that hijack in young people that is clearly more compelling than the gospel?
Yeah.
Or at least the gospel as received.
Sure.
And there will be enough people in the YouTube comments that have simplistic prophylactics and answers to these things.
Simplistic prophylactics. Simplistic prophylactics.
YouTube comments are you get to have your comment every now and then. Someone will accuse me of taking down their comments. I've only erased 2 comments that apart from the normal Bitcoin one was just.
He says sometimes YouTube won't let you post them, but what it really means is there's well, that's true, but there's also this section called held for review, and if your stuff gets thrown in there, we might not ever see it. We have to go look, and it's a pain to go look, and
Just a sort of blatant, stupid anti-Semitic comment, but I don't erase your comments. Sometimes YouTube's won't let you post them, but this wrestling with finding all our human prophylactics insufficient. This goes all the way back.
oh no! Our prophylactics were insufficient. We have to take full damage from... Oh, wait, we didn't even do the prophylactics. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your prophylactic mind control savings throws. You get to choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. And if the die comes up over 10, then you take half damage from the mind control that follows for the rest of the stream. However, if you've commented on the previous stream, you get a +3 to whichever one of the die you choose. So remember, choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. And if you comment, you get a +3 next time. We are naming the lobster monkey over... This guy. He's currently being named. It has to start with an R. Give us your submissions. Anyway, choose! Wow, bro, you're not... Do the savings throw already. I know. 13 for survivalists. 16 for the socialists. 8 for the lovers of wisdom. And 18 for the heart folks today. That's a lie. Somebody erased mine this morning. What?
Back to... this goes all the way back to Judas. One of the 12 betrays Jesus. This is a part of the Christian life. It's a part of the Christian journey. I think it connects with, maybe I'll just find that C.S. Lewis quote that I love so much about.
I think Lynn may have trolled us. I think maybe I was closer to where he says, Grimgris! Oh, we can search transcripts, actually. Let us first investigate the submitted names for the new lobster monkey over on my YouTube channel. Okay, what am I showing you while I look this up? Sorry, here's the main title. We're doing attention corner shorts beholder, and oh, you should just Just look it up in front of him. Okay, we're just going to look it up in front of you. Something went terribly, terribly wrong. Yes, I do understand something is going terribly wrong. Here's the videos. Here's the videos I have made. Why am I looking up these things again? Oh no, my brain. Oh yes, in the previous live stream of the Mythos Agency. I think I really got to do it maybe in the community post, right, guys? Should I do it in the community post? Under the 7 comments sorted by newest first, we have Reese and Steve and Riptide on the official entries. Now, let me show you behind the scenes, guys. You want to see behind the scenes? Check this out. Here, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that. This. We got to go back here in a minute. But first, behind the scenes, what it looks like to be a channel. Is you get to see this, and you go to comments. Here's this held for review I was telling you about. Nobody said anything. Renfield, you guys are doing great ones, except I don't accept submissions for the name in the chat. It's a comment, but anyway, this is what it looks like. And we had Riptide and Rasputin, but he did it over on the character AAO video, and it was supposed to. So, okay, okay, let's recap. Here, come here. Where's your hat? Get your hat. We are currently in the naming process of our new lobster monkey friend here. There is an existing lobster monkey by the name of Goose who looks like this. You see how he has no claws on his hands. This fellow here does have a claw on his hand, and his name is to start with an R. And apparently we're gonna figure out where we're accepting the submissions for those names. Because right now I'd have to dig through both this chat and the chat of the last live stream and pick out them all and then make a poll. And welcome to the Attention Corner Shorts Beholder, Circumcised Selfhood, Grim Grizz live stream. Now, somewhere in this video, this man says Grim Grizz. So let's see if we can figure out Steve. Show the transcript. And then we hit the Control F, the magical, powerful Control F, and we say Grim Grizz. No, it's not spelled right. Does it say Aha! Here, 17 minutes. Here we go. Let's go back to 1721. Hide the transcript and play.
Purposelessness, which seems...
Purposelessness. Oh, 18. I thought you said 8, Lynn. Thank you.
To lend itself toward casting about, looking for some mechanism or structure by which you can invest your energies. I was reading something this week. One of my Twitter followers sent me this. I think Kyle McNeese. Sorry, I'll put the link in the show below here. But he sent me this note about an animal.
Kyle's been on the channel, and Kyle's been around.
Behaviorists from mid-century. His name was James B. Calhoun.
And Grim Grizz is going to be all over this, baby, because this is Grim Grizz's thing.
Oh boy, it is. It's the thing that basically what happened is I was just a regular comment guy, and then Paul got this crush on Chris Williamson for a minute, and oh my God, I see why. And they did this thing, and he missed something that was huge. And so I'm like, hey, you missed something, and made the video. And then the shadow matriarchy and the rat experiment thing. Here is what, despite apparently paying attention to the corner, Kale has not yet seen. And then I can go, yes, perfect. Perfect. Let's find it. Let's find it. How do we search across my channel? Well, we put... Hey, it says I'm back. Okay, so he says this guy with like a 20K sub channel says he's gonna be all over this thing. So now there is a social tension that exists between my understanding of the PVK audience and their expectations of me. And that I feel as though I'm now expected to go into this thing. Oh, and you know, I wish I didn't need to. I wish I didn't need to. So, let's see. I have to find the shadow matriarchy thing. Okay, it's gonna be a year ago almost now. How long have we been doing this, guys? Reformers. This is an unlisted video. Am I showing you guys? No. Watch. Check this one out. This is good times.
We go blame. It's just Big Jesus now. I have no clue what you're saying. We go blame. We know say Johnny Calvin, we go blame. It's just Big Jesus now. We know say Johnny Calvin, we go blame. It's just Big Jesus now.
Reformers, we know say Johnny Calvin, we go blame. It's just Big Jesus now. He didn't do it right, but...
And he ran an...
Some people, you know, Paul says he's got the ADD, right? Fringe Cringe with Chad and Grizz. That was a great one. Where is it, Mudhut? No. Speaking of which, she's responsible for the beautiful lobster monkey goose, and you can find a place to buy the things she makes in the descriptions. Because why not? Oh, Magneto and the Secret of Nim. That's a good one. This is all the private stuff. They don't get to know all these things that exist. I know. Here, give them this.
Strangest thing in the world. Like, who would have thought that Darwin would bring Plato back? We need purposes in order to encounter the world. Purpose to me as a human being. And that actually scales the hierarchy of purposes, even in terms of science, right? People think that science is just a study of phenomena. We always forget that science is embedded into social systems, and that, for example, the science that will get the most attention will always be the science that is the most phenomena. That will get the least attention, which means the least money, the least effort to study, will be the things that are the least useful for phenomena. As you
all right, ladies and gentlemen, I have found it. Way back in the times of October 6th was the original airing of this video, which launched me into this community corner in a way hitherto.
Digital campfire. Weird because it breaks a lot of the social grammar. Your face is very large for me right now. No. That's the point. Mine is for you too, or for the viewers. I just met you. This is
my audio skills got better over time.
Inappropriate intimacy.
One person out of 100 somehow extract that piece and transmit it across time.
Oh,
right? There are ways, and people are working. It's a fascinating way to level up finding insight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, a fascinating way. Son of a... Where do I have to sit for this to work, Paul? Okay, over here. All right. I present to you Shadow Matriarchy and Euphemism. My video response, including exciting clips and highlights from Paul Vanderklay's recent drop, Marriage something. So the story The story goes as follows. Once upon a time, I've made this video called Of Mice and Mankind. And then the other time... Aha! Thanks, Grim. I couldn't remember what the classic was called. Classic, I said, because Chad just said it in the chat. Hey, people are laughing. That's good. Bonghall's not alone in that. Chris Williamson was on Love Island, which is the show Paul watches with... Ooh, wow, Lynn, that is like stalker level trivia. Way to go. Creepy. Creep. Nice. Aha, there it is. And it's only 4 minutes of hell. Here you go, folks. The video we wish that Cale Zeldin had already seen.
Despite the suggestions of Calhoun's rats, humans in cities reacted differently or sometimes opposite the manner that researchers expected, depending on the location. No matter how they tried, no evidence of a widespread behavioral sync could be found in urban areas.
It depends on how you're filtering, and it depends on the cultural framework that you're coming from. I read an article a long time ago, 7 years ago, 2012. It was about Facebook, and it said Facebook runs on envy. Envy is the fuel of Facebook. That
He spent his time on new subjects as he continued to perfect his enclosures and experiments until finally, after 11 years, Calhoun revealed his magnum opus through an article he entitled Death Squared, which was published in the journal Proceedings of the Royal Society of Medicine in January of 1973. The lengthy opening to this article was undeniably apocalyptic. Calhoun wrote, "I shall largely speak of mice, but my thoughts are on man, on healing, on life and its evolution. Threatening life and evolution are the two deaths, death of the spirit and death of the body. Evolution, in terms of ancient wisdom, is the acquisition of access to the tree of life."
This takes us back to the white first horse of the apocalypse, with its rider set out to conquer the forces that threaten the spirit with death. Further in Revelation, we note, "To him conquers I will grant to eat the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God." And further on, the leaves were for the healing of the nation. The leaves are for the healing of the nations. Isn't that right, Bonghall? Chad, your coverage of this was technically slightly better than mine. If you want to grab it, I'll run it while I go to the shed at some point. We do need some Jeopardy questions.
Unquote.
Well, to me, one of the biggest unexamined issues, right, is the transition from the great extended family of old, okay, into the nuclear family. Okay, so I do feel that Freud is the best analyst of the particular kind of claustrophobic cell of the modern nuclear family. It could be that human beings were never intended, okay.
The claustrophobic cell of the nuclear family.
To be trapped in a house just with their parents. The extended families, your aunts and grandparents and cousins, all of whom helped form your identity. Okay, so one's identity was as a member of a community, right, rather than in this like hothouse environment. So I think that a lot of current issues, including this sudden spate of transgender claims and so on, that a lot of these things are coming from this unstable in cell. It's really a prison cell of the nuclear family. Two parents perhaps cannot give all the knowledge of life, okay, to the young.
Phase was characterized largely by an entire generation of young who had been rejected by their mothers early and forced to leave the nest, and they were therefore unable to exhibit normal social behavior. This manifested in numerous ways. The females of this generation had far fewer children, and those that did have children lacked the maternal instincts necessary to raise them beyond weaning. Calhoun goes on to describe the males of this generation.
Now, the reason I needed to stop and go back through this is because they did like I actually did in this, and glommed on to the beautiful ones, because those are the, like, dude, the guys aren't breeding, they're just licking themselves. What the is a big red flag. But we don't focus enough on this part.
Far fewer children manifested in numerous ways. The females of this generation had far fewer children, and those that did have children lacked the maternal instincts necessary to raise them beyond weaning. Calhoun goes on to describe the males.
That's the, I mean, if you look at the problem and you dig down deeper, if they aren't raised right to raise more, that's where the disconnect is. And because it's been so destigmatized and normalized that women become men and join the workforce, there's the here's some more of them talking about it for a minute. For
experiment with rats, and the experiment later became famous or semi-famous for this notion of the beautiful ones. And basically, he created a rat cage, right, with specially selected, healthy, lab rats, and he made sure the whole construction was literally this tank, this aquarium. It had all the food, all the water, all of the little rooms, everything was taken care of. All material needs were taken care of. And initially, of course, the colony flourishes, and it moves on, and they can reproduce relatively quickly. But it hits a sort of saturation point, because everything is taken.
Okay, so the point that didn't get hit hard enough, that I'd like everyone to throw in their faces, because I don't know that I'll get through to this Zeldin guy or to Paul on this topic. But there's of the Mouse Utopia study, there's the beautiful ones. There's the when the rearing of the children breaks down, there's a point where it's because the dudes quit defending the territory, and the lady folk have to defend their own nest, and because they're busy defending their own nest, they can't properly wean the young. And the other one was the way that they would there would be entire hoppers of food that would go unused, and they'd all congregate around the ones where everything was chaotic crap, because the need for socialization is as powerful as the need for food. And I think if you get all those topics, especially with the focus on what we've done to the shadow matriarchy through the power of set and soap opera, and the eroding of the authority of the through the normal, and there's the John Wayne thing where guys aren't allowed to punch each other for things that deserve punched anymore, because then you lose everything in the lawsuit that he puts against you for assault, even though the dude totally needed to. Anyway, welcome. Okay, yes. Whoo! What a stream. What a stream this is turning into. Hey guys, check this out. Let's see, how do we do it? We do it like this, and then and then this.
Alienation, futility, horror, real horror, absurdity, 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 alienation, futility.
Okay, yeah, that was that stream. If you don't die before you die, then you won't die when you die. Soros knows damn well that I'm not ramped up. Your Soros knows like, wow, this guy's like a younger guy that's looking at what I did and looking at how I control the world silently. And he's calling it out. And he's not using any of the fear tactics because he can't send his homeboys around. And then
what humans define as sane is a narrow range of behaviors. Most states of consciousness are insane. Stop shaking!
What in the cornbread hell? My desire to end this stream is inversely proportionate from my desire to feed you something to watch while I run out into the closet. Closet? Shed. Ah!
Little campfire.
Weird. My old stuff is too quiet. It's not, oh my goodness. We did cover, but the, remember it. Goose! Remember it, buddy. It's just us together doing it the best we can. Euphemisticism. What? Why, Lynn, why are you crying about masturbating in public for Reiki speak? What's going on in the hive mind? What did I miss? Freud was a freak. Bob. Irreverence and a contempt for reverence for all. Oh, there was some inflammatory nonsense. I don't know if I can find it again. Let's see. Let's try. Let's see. It was Peterson and that guy Brand on trolls. No, this is all old crap. It was apparently Peterson really went. He went so dehumanizing against the trolls that he definitely needs to have the keck hat removed. It's not like he. I mean, it's a betrayal of Remember when we met Pajot? Oh God. All right, I'm just gonna run this Paul stuff because I can't find anything else right now, and I'm a cautionary tale. Don't forget.
Taken care of. There's no need to protect, for instance, the colony from outside predators. There's no reason to forage for food. There's no reason to create housing or the little nests, etc. That everything is right. Everything is taken care of, right? And so, upon everything being taken care of, you had an entire population, which he called the beautiful ones, that just opted out. They just stopped. They stopped even recreating. And so the population then it hits this point, and then it just degenerates, and then it just extinguishes itself. And part of the takeaway.
Yeah, that sounds.
You gave me the eyes. You gave me.
I see where you're going with this.
You gave me the rod eyes. The rod eyes. If you're listening to this, his eyebrows popped up. Wait, well, what strikes you about that story, Rod?
I see where we're going with this. It's just people lose the will to live. I mean, we go right back to Brave New World. Aldous Huxley's insight that there's something in human nature that requires struggle, and if it requires struggle, it requires some form of suffering in order to thrive. And this is
now yesterday's video with Andrew Tate. I mean, this is where you get the missiology of the gentle slope versus the missiology of the steep slope.
Oh, my missiologies! Oh God, the missiologies. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. However, you know how the Of Mice and Men clip was a really old thing I made? There's another one, and I don't know that it's gonna, like, I'll even get away with running it, but I can definitely find it, and I remembered it as soon as I went to the shed. This is mine, but it can go away. This is not going away. This is the thing. Okay, it's I pull it off here, show you some more of this while I find it. But I'm looking for it now.
There's a lot of steep slope traction that's been going on. Jordan Peterson's very steep slope. Orthodoxy, very steep slope. A lot of the ministry that I see done by Pentecostal churches, with pastors who have been through prison, going into prison, saving gangbangers. This is all steep slope. It's hard lines, and it's bright lines, and it's black and white, and it's antithetical. And
is it good times? Is it intellectual, stimulating, rigorously?
Masturbation is not allowed by God, so we need to find different ways to do
It's
it.
clearly allowed by God. He may look
No,
down upon
no.
it and punish you for it, but it's definitely allowed.
Yeah, it's physically possible. There's nothing stopping you, unless you've got no arms or
Allowed.
something, and then you've got to do all the fine other means.
Yeah, this is one thing where present Jacob very much disagrees with past Jacob. Yeah, yeah. God doesn't like masturbation, and I thought he did.
No, that was you.
Go forth and multiply.
I
not
was a
go forth
teenager.
and spill your seed into fallow ground.
We're all going like, ew, ew, right? But for Antisthenes, the actual confrontation with Socrates was more important. Both Plato and Antisthenes are interested in the transformation that Socrates is affording. Plato sees this happening through argumentation. Antisthenes sees it as happening through confrontation. And you can see how they're both right. Because in Socratic Elenchus, Socrates comes up and he argues with you, but of course he's also confronting you. We talked about how he's sort of slamming the actual revolution into your face. A follower, Diogenes, and Diogenes epitomizes this. Diogenes basically does something analogous to provocative performance art. He gets in your face in a way that tries to provoke you to realizations. That shock experience that you had when confronting Socrates that challenges you to radically transform your life. You have the man, right, with the lamp, wandering about, the hermit with the lamp. Well, this is Diogenes. He walked into the marketplace carrying around a lamp and looking and looking and looking.
1977.
I found it. Here is it's part of, okay, like it's remember how the mice break down because the rearing of the children goes to shit. This has been rattling around in my head since 2019. Thanks Owen.
Time magazine, fighting the housewife blues. Fighting the housewife blues, and you have soap and a bottle. It's associating that with blues. They're trying to create a narrative that the housewives are blue, that they're sad, when in reality that's the most free, productive, and full of purpose and health a woman can possibly be, is a stay-at-home wife and mother in a prosperous household. That's an ideal place for a woman. We all know this now. So that was in 77. So what happened in 87? Who's bringing up baby? With both mom and dad at work, the big problem is finding quality health care. Where do you find that quality health care? And then 10 years later, early puberty. Why girls are growing up faster? Is it hormones? Is it fat? Is it something in the water? How parents and kids are developing. That's 2000. I'll tell you exactly how this happens. You send the mom to work. There's nobody home for the kids. They go through puberty faster. Girls go through puberty faster when they are in an unstable environment. Girls go through puberty on average 3 years faster if there's a non-biological male in the house.
All right, but the last 40 seconds of that are pretty controversial, but it does demonstrate, in my humble opinion, quite well the way the narrative of our normalized narrative of society had impacts on our beast bodies that we fail to acknowledge because we have disassociation with our bodies and the nature, and we think of ourselves as separate from nature, and we all blame Descartes, even though Terence McKenna said an angel started all of that. Right? Right. Okay. So there. That was the other point. Attention. The corner shorts beholder. Okay, the corner shorts beholder thing is like way deep into Paul. I gotta go. Oh dear, how far ago was that? Man. Yes, back to here. It's like
the
40.
ministry that
I didn't get that till like 40. So here, enjoy some more clips of Paul. I'll put my face on it when I'm back from the shed. Hey!
With the homeless here, that part of what sustains them is in fact the community. And so much of what I deal with normies who live in boxes with locks on the doors and often nobody else there is just the sheer weight of loneliness. And so much of what I do is sit down and listen to people because people just want to have someone to listen to them.
Up by the internet. And the world, and think about what this does when it becomes energized and blown up by the internet.
Your words remind me of another really meaningful conversation I had on this recent trip to the U.S. It wasn't even at one of the conferences, but I got an email from a friend, Catholic friend, a traditionalist, a Latin Mass going Catholic, and he was just really struggling with a serious theological issue and needed to talk. And we ended up on the phone together. And he told me that he had gone to his priest about this. And the priest told him, well, just, here are a couple of books you can look up the answer and boom, end of story. And my friend was like, I know what the church teaches, but I'm struggling with it. It was so telling about the mentality of this priest. And I think a lot of conservatives are like this generally. Conservative Christians like, oh, just look the answer up. This will tell you what to do. Boom. This very legalistic, manualistic idea of how to contend with problems in the world. And that came to mind too when I was reading this essay by Michael Hanby, the Catholic philosopher of science. We need to have him on the show sometime. But
I love that. That would be fantastic.
He was critical. This essay he wrote for newpolity.com. You can put it in the show notes.
Yeah, it's just
he's a conservative Catholic, but he was criticizing the integralist, and one of the things he said about them, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but he said that they have what he calls a manualist idea about how to deal with politics, that it's plug and play. Here's what the church says. All we need to do is get the right authorities in place to implement it. Boom, problem solved. And Hanby says that this is just not realistic, and maybe it never was realistic.
Why does he say? Yeah, why does he suggest that it's not realistic? I have my own little theory that I'm going to cart out of here in just a second, but just to pick your brain a little bit further, why does he say this is unrealistic? What is it lacking?
Well, first of all, it lacks resonance, so to speak, with the real world. The fact that the United States, at least, we're minority Catholic, and the overwhelming majority of Catholics would not. Don't exist in that kind of relationship to the Catholic Church in terms of authority and obedience. Maybe they should, but they don't. And secondly, it is a way, as I recall Hanby, this is a way of not dealing with the deeper fundamental problems of our politics today, which is a lack of authority. And
authority? Respect my authority. Bye, Magic. Sorry, I didn't get to the monster party fight. Oh man, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's very weird. Like the call it the energetic state of for me to exist in this space, holding space thing is quite awkward, really. But I've come to bear it as best I can, and just embracing the shame because that really. So I don't know. I gotta record with Swedlow tomorrow, and then I'm recording with Swedlow tomorrow. Paul in Seville is supposed to be Monday, and like anything out further out, I probably shouldn't talk about it. But here's this. I gotta read it. Okay, no. See, the thing is, you put it here like this, and then pause it, and then over here, you go back into the Discord where you can read it, while the okay, hold on, guys. On the plus side, I'm not playing that Verveke real horror clip right now, and that would be the other thing I would do. Okay, okay. Real isn't how you're made, said the skin horse. It's a thing that happens to you when a child loves you for a long, long time. Not just to play with, but really loves you. That's when you become real.